Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. What? Mars civilization? Oh, Marian civilization. I know all about that. Ha.
Can I go to the restroom?
Oh, me from the past. Can't you just hold your bladder for a few more minutes? Come on. Where do I begin? The Mauryan Empire extended over almost the entire modern-day India. The Mauryan Empire began with Chandragupta and slowly fell apart after the Golden Age brought by Ashoka. The empire lasted for a few hundred years.
Mr. Main, Mr. Main!
What now?
How will this help me in real life?
Moving on.
Wait. How did the geography during the period of the Mauryan Empire beneficial for them?
I was just about to talk about that. Well, anyway, the geography of the Mauryan civilization provided natural boundaries. The Mauryans lived in the junction between the Sun and Ganges River, around 321 BCE to 185 BCE, in the wake of the Great Macedonian Empire. They unified all of the Indian subcontinent for the first time in history, except the southern part right there. One of the reasons that India in general was very well guarded was natural barriers that surrounded it. Seas covered much of India, as well as some of the largest mountains in the world to protect them from invaders to the north. There were only a few holes for intruders to come in, otherwise they would have had to travel through the seas or past the Himalayas. Basically, they were totally protected by natural barriers that surrounded them. Monsoons were the winds that blew into India, bringing its particular weather. In the summer, the monsoon brought high precipitation, often leading to recurring floods. In the winter, particularly inland, the monsoon brought dry wind, which is an absence of precipitation. This fluctuation in water made it difficult to maintain an excessive agriculture consistently.
What about the kings? Geography is so boring.
Which leads nicely to number 2, the history of the Mauryan Empire. It was Chandragupta. Oh, just tell me.
Mr. Main, how did Chandragupta make the Mauryan Empire?
It was Chandragupta who created this great empire through killing the unpopular Nanda king. He fought against Seleucus I, who was a part of the Macedonian Empire and turned out victorious. He was a powerful ruler. His advisor, Kautilya, wrote a book called the Arthashastras, which is considered very important in the development of economics, and he passed a number of social and economic reforms. And due to this, there was a caste system which divided the classes into 4 parts, and also there were 7 specializations of jobs according to the Megasthenes books, Indica, which is written during this trip in India. The 4 classes were called the Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Brahmins were the priests and teachers. The Kshatriyas were the kings and warriors. The Vaishyas were the merchants and wealthy landowners. And finally, the Sudras were the commoners and peasants. They were basically like slaves. The 7 main specializations of jobs were philosophers, agriculturalists, merchants and artisans, herdsmen, soldiers, and spies. Then there was his son, Bindusara. He, frankly, didn't achieve much, and there was a lack of information about him. He ruled for approximately 30 years and was speculated as a Brahminist. After his death, there was a 4-year succession in which Ashoka became the next king. Wait, are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not. I'm on YouTube.
Same thing, just focus in the class. Before we talk about Ashoka, it's important to talk about Buddhism. Does anyone know anything about Buddhism?
Siddhartha Gautama, the prince in a kingdom located near the Himalayas in Nepal, had a luxurious lifestyle. However, when he was 29, he was curious about the world. The first time he left, he saw people in pain. He noticed that the world outside the palace was a different world, a world full of suffering. To try to remove suffering from the world, he traveled and met many wise men. Then he meditates underneath a tree for 40 days and finally reaches enlightenment. He realizes that the source of a pain is desire, and to get rid of the pain, they must rid oneself of desire. From here, Buddhism is born, and he accrues followers. They called him Buddha, which means enlightened one.
Yes, very good. But do you know what caused the development and interaction of Buddhism throughout the Mauryan Empire?
The most influential event that caused the establishment and interaction of Buddhism throughout the Mauryan Empire. Even though Buddhism was popular in some areas of the Mauryan Empire, it wasn't known worldwide until the 3rd king of the Mauryan Empire came in. Ashoka was a grandson of the first king of the Maurya Empire, Chandragupta, and was known for his fierce behavior as a warrior. One of his major goals was to conquer Kalinga.
Yeah, that's true. When he finally achieved this goal, which was not easy, he walked through the battlefield. He was shocked with all the dead soldiers and lost souls the war has left behind. Due to this, there was a spiritual change inside of him, and at this moment, he decided to convert to Buddhism. Ashoka became a Buddhist, and he wanted to spread the Dharma. He sent out missionaries to numerous different countries and also made rock and pillars, which were placed throughout the Mauryan Empire. These edicts had inscriptions of Buddhist teachings, which helped Buddhism spread across India. There are only 19 pillars left today, even though historians claim that there were probably more.
Yeah, and also these pillars prove that Ashoka was a devout Buddhist. And also this evidence showed his clear goals to spread the Dharma all across India. The missionaries went to the southern Eastern Asia, but also Syria, Egypt, and the Greek world. The missionaries from the Mauryan Empire was a significant source of spread of Buddhism through the world. These missionaries facilitated cultural interaction. When missionaries taught the Dharma to whoever was willing to learn and take in, it was like breaking one part of one's culture and sharing with others. When you share religion and others accept it, it becomes a cultural interaction.
That was actually surprisingly good, me from the past. I guess I was pretty smart back then too. Maybe I'm a bit too hard on myself. After Ashoka had a spiritual change and converted to Buddhism, he threw away the caste system. Since Ashoka was a Buddhist, he wanted everyone to be treated equally. However, we can infer that the development and conversion of this wasn't very easy, since the caste system was present before Ashoka turned into a Buddhist. The evidence that he wanted everyone to be treated equally is spread all over the inscription of his edicts. Also, women in the Mauryan Empire were treated fairly well. One evidence from the excerpt from a Mahabharata epic: even a man in rage will not be harsh to a woman, remembering that on her depends the joy of her love, happiness, and virtue. This proves Ashoka promoted gender equality. Ashoka ruled with power, but as he grew old, it was more difficult to control the vast empire. By the end of his life, he was sending too much money to the Buddhist monasteries, which is why his family limited his donations. It is said that his final donation to the Buddhists was the half-eaten apple. Oof, let's get a little sale. Let's have some rap time.
Yo, Mr. Man, I can do a freestyle that will make you smile. It's about the Mauryan Empire's economy. Alright, let's go. When we are in a recession, agriculture gave us direction, including textiles, spices, and exotic foods. It gave us profit, and it was the most imperative in our economy. When the farmers had a surplus, it's conspicuous that they would sell them. Because of course, mining was the best, and the rest was useless. For the government to function properly, they had to collect taxes frequently. For the industrial goods were promoted by the government, and merchants became opulent, just like me. Swag.
Although the Mauryan Empire is generally forgotten, the efforts and ideas of the rulers are remembered today as Buddhism spread wide across Asia. Today, Ashoka is regarded as one of the best rulers of all time.